Good evening, folks. Welcome to TransWorld Live. If you've noticed, we're a little bit somber to start our show off tonight. Last weekend, the industry lost an amazing woman and our good friend, Karen Murphy. Karen was a wonderful friend and an extraordinary woman. Now, it's hard to imagine a world without her vibrant spirit and that love that she has for all things Halloween. Her passion for this industry is contagious. Her many contributions to our industry have played an important role in moving forward, and her selfless dedication has made a lasting impact on all things that are haunted houses. Please join us next Tuesday, November 5th, as we gather here on TransWorld Live to celebrate her life and all of her contributions to our industry. At this time, we would like to ask you for a moment of silence. Thank you. Now with that, welcome to TransWorld Live. It's Tuesday. What's going on? It's our Halloween show, and we are more than excited to be here because we have a jam-packed, stellar episode ahead. That's right. We're going to dive right into it. It's Halloween. You're going to get your presents early. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming from Universal Studios Orlando, TJ Mannarino. What's up, TJ?
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
We cannot tell you on behalf of the entire TransWorld team how excited that we are and honored to have you here. Thank you for taking a few moments out to hang with us.
No, happy to be here. Like I said, TransWorld is a part of our life here at Universal too, and so we're happy to kind of join you. This is exciting.
Oh my gosh. The excitement's definitely mutual. And I know I speak for a number of haunters and folks all over the industry. While I think there's always debates, which haunt is the best and, which show really does well. Every single haunter always talks about how they're going to make their pilgrimage to Orlando to see Halloween Horror Nights. It is the epic epicenter of all things haunted entertainment.
Oh, well, we thank you again. And like I said, we love, again, like everybody, that's the one thing I love about this industry is that all of us that do this are passionate about, being part of the haunting community. And I jokingly tell people if I was not on this side of the fence, I'd be on the other side, going to all the haunts and doing all the work and having a lot of fun. And so, yeah, like I said, I think it's just a passion we all share. And so I'm just happy that people want to enjoy our show and come out and be a part of it.
It is wild. Having experienced it in the past, there's nothing quite like it. It just sprawls the entire park. It's everywhere. It's obviously huge. And most attractions out there do maybe 1 or 2 or 16 nights for some of our pros, sometimes up to 20. You guys do 48 nights.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It keeps getting longer every year. Into August. Like I said, this was the first year we actually opened in August. It was the last weekend, and now we run all the way, I think, till this Sunday. So that's November 3rd. So yeah, it sprawls across 4 months. We do 5 days a week, so we don't do every day. But yeah, and we're just expecting again for them to say, "Hey, can we do a few more nights?" So, we'll see. But like I said, we're just happy that people want to show up in August and enjoy Halloween that early. Like I said, that's the thing that I really have gotten huge enjoyment out of. How much Halloween now is becoming a year-round celebration. It's no longer this month. In October, it is kind of all year, all round,
It is. It's a culture and a lifestyle, and people love to live it and come there and celebrate year round. Even if Haunted Halloween Horror Nights is not active, you still see people, walking around and having a good time, enjoying that. Now, we know that you guys have been around for 33 seasons, which should be absolutely complimented on its own. When did you first get started with Universal?
Well, so I started in year 6, so I've been with them for 28 years now. We were small, small but mighty. We were figuring our way out a little bit about this event. We had started it in '91, and at that year,
Sure.
we had one haunted house. We had 3 nights of operation over 2 weekends, and that year, I think you would wait 4 hours to get into our one haunted house. Not
Okay.
capacity also for a haunted house. But we learned a lot, but we saw a huge interest from our audience and our guests. And again, to be able to play with our history of the classic monsters and the wonderful catalog of Frankenstein and Dracula and Wolfman, it grew quickly. So within the first 5 years, we added a house every year. So when I came on board, we were already at that kind of 5 haunted houses. We had stretched into a good number of days within October. But since that point, like I said, 48 nights now. We have 10 haunted houses, 5 exterior scare zones. We
Oh my
used to do
God.
2 shows. Our one lagoon show was down this year because we actually just
Sure.
had a full park show. But typically we'll do 2 lagoon shows, one lagoon show, one stage show. But yeah, it's amazing the amount of excitement. And then the fun part that I've been actually lucky enough to be included in was we've launched Halloween Horror Nights in 5 of our other parks. So Universal Hollywood, most of our guests have probably been out there
Sure.
or from that area. Universal Japan, Singapore, and Beijing now is starting the Halloween trend. They're in their 2nd year. So yeah, it's fun to watch how much Halloween as a celebration has really made its way to areas around the world that really don't celebrate Halloween that much, but have really become part of this kind of Halloween and haunting experience.
It's wild because your inspiration and everything that you guys do there inspires so many, whether they're just fans of the genre or if they're fellow haunted housers, that are in the industry and working on their own shows and take some of your ideas and come home. What are some inspirations for you? What keeps you moving as you're building and creating? And you guys do this every year. You tear everything down, rebuild, make it beautiful and perfect. I mean, you guys are the gold standard. What inspires you?
It is. I have to say, it is. I think it's everybody. It's the people we come in contact with. It's the people we work with. It's people challenging us to do something different and do something unique, and so that's been kind of the focus when we do tear it down. A lot of it really is about how do we create something that really hasn't been seen and to levels that really Universal strives to create. So like on the screen here, we did a house that was called Yeti Terror of the Yukon, and it was a blizzard on top of an old mining town up in the Yukon. And so you can see you entered this kind of frozen tundra of these old mining shacks with lumberjacks, and they were attacked by a series of Yetis that basically slaughtered the place. But we always felt, again, for us in Orlando, Florida, not many of our audience gets to see snow. So to have a house that's frozen in the snow, we had snow machines. We turned down our AC air conditioning. Like 65, which here is cold and frigid. But we also love the aspect of that contrast of blood really looks good on white snow. So those types of things were the things that we wanted to bring to life and do something different. And for our audience, that sense of transportation, taking you to places that you usually don't get the chance to do or see. Dead Waters was another one we did that took you to the bayous of Louisiana. And took you into the swamps, and you entered. This thing was a full 25, 30-foot tall riverboat that was sinking in the marsh of the bayou. And you actually entered in the first few rooms that were all slanted and tilted to kind of give you that sense that this is sinking. Wow. And as you found your way, you realize is that a voodoo group had found this as home and used it partially as their shrine and altar that they celebrated, but then they had a small voodoo town in the back after you made your way off the boat into the back of the space. So yeah, those types of things are the things that we've always enjoyed looking for. And at the end of our season, we're like, well, what are we going to do next year? And so it drives us. It drives us a little crazy because there's a little bit of it also, that anxiousness. Are we going to be able to find something different to do, and what's out there? But we look for the audience to tell us that. So we're very much love doing stuff like this, where we get in touch and talk back to our audience and the industry to see what's out there, what are people talking about, what people are excited about. And then we start to take those things and look at how do we bring those elements to life, those characters to become real, and what that place that is, uniquely different that people could never imagine, and how could we, put you in the middle of it and have you scream your hearts off.
Having experienced it, and I know many of the folks that are watching have as well, you guys succeed. It's unbelievable. The illusion is real as you put people into these nightmares. And on your Yeti house, I can only imagine that the sign up list for your actors, they all want to be inside there, because that seems like it's a nice, cool night.
Especially if you're in a 6 foot tall Yeti costume. You're like looking for a cool place to sit. Yes.
Well, having been involved since season 6, this is the hardest question I'm going to ask you all night, but we ask everybody. Yeah. It's kind of like picking your favorite kid question.
Yes.
Everything that you've ever done since season 6, do you have a favorite attraction that you loved, or a favorite couple that just over the years you remember them so fondly?
Well, I'll be honest with you. We've created tons of original content with this slide, and we've also done stuff with our IP brands, from Stranger Things to, like we did Last of Us last year. This year, we're actually doing Quiet Place and Insidious. So it's been a toolbox, or toy box, I probably should say, that has been, amazing to be able to play with these brands and at the same time create our own stories. Are not only exciting, but kind of memorable. So to your point, it's hard to really pick a favorite. And then the other thing too, that I kind of, when I get asked this question, I'll tell people, think about your favorite computer, and you think about, well, my best one is the one I'm using because it's advanced, it's got new technology. Right. We found new things to do better and better. So that's where it's interesting, because the older houses we've done have memory and meaning, but again, they're probably not as exciting or as more favorite now as the newer ones we've done. But like I said, I'll go off and I'll tell you. So I'm growing up, was a big fan of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Of course.
And we got a chance to do that house here in Orlando and tell our own story. Actually, we kind of expanded on the story from the film. So we used the film as kind of the base story, and we said our story kind of continued after that. So doing that, creating those characters, that environment of the whole sense of, you don't know what's going to happen because the thing could be anywhere in anybody. That was a lot of fun. But probably my all-time favorite, we we paired with, it was MGM, I think it was, or Paramount, with Poltergeist.
Okay.
And with them, they allowed us to actually expand the story from the film, and actually allowed us to go inside the light, or into the closet where Carol Ann was basically taken. And at that point, half of the house took you into that kind of surreal environment, and all of the basically creatures that had come out into the family's house, we were able to put you in their environments, and they were now stalking and attacking you. And so that turned out to be, I think, a really great house, because it took something people knew, but at the same time gave them something completely different that they were familiar with but had never experienced. So that, again, we I think we took away, and I loved it because it was also one of my other favorite type of houses. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, as you sprawl corner to corner in your park, and it's truly amazing because people fill those streets, all of those different corridors and hallways are just filled with Universal fans that are loving your product. It's got to take a massive cast and crew to make all of this illusion possible. How many would you say that it takes to run or your Orlando show?
well, again, like you said, it is really the theme park on steroids because not only are we operating the regular rides and shows that happen during the day, we're now putting the Halloween overlay over top of it. And we're operating not only the Halloween attractions, but we have a whole merchandise team that creates their own merchandise stores that change every year also. And that team is dedicated to just Halloween and the show. Our foods team has actually gotten into big efforts to create unique food offerings and drink offerings that also build special kiosks within the park. So as you make your way around to the various haunted attractions, you can grab these unique food pieces and go get t-shirts. And that really has been a trend that we've talked about, has really grown a lot in the last probably 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Is that people now come, no longer just look to do the haunted attractions. They really take their whole night and really want to kind of dive into the world of Halloween. And that's really enjoying the food, buying the merchandise, and taking that home with them so they can remember as what their evening and night was like. So the number I do know, because I don't know that number of cast. I know cast size, but the food size. Cast size, we have close to 1,000 to 1,200 performers.
Wow.
We every year. And like you said, everything changes. So for us, all the costumes, all the makeup and mask and wigs completely change for next year. So we start very early on the process of rebuilding and creating all of our new characters for next year. But yeah, 1,200 is
wow.
What yeah.
Well, you mentioned always planning. And when you have that many people and that many properties, you're always got to be planning. A lot of the haunt owners and the actors that join us and watch the show with us every week, they know very well that sometimes maybe they'll take November off. Maybe they'll start November 5th or December 1st. What is your normal cycle like when you guys finish your show, when you wrap on Sunday? How soon do you start planning for 25?
Well, this year we started in April of this year for next year. So as we were in the process of building our haunted houses, we'll start construction on most of our attractions as early as like end of January, beginning of February. So we'll shut down, like I said, Halloween here in this next weekend. We have to flip over the park to holidays. So we have about 12 to 14 days. And
that's it.
The other thing too is that we're the team that does Halloween, but we also do all the other seasonal attractions, some of the live shows within the parks, parades that we do. So, our job is really kind of diversified between all the different other types of celebrations. But yes, so Halloween comes down, it flips to holidays, but we're already right now 6 designs in for next year's event. And they'll actually still go to some of our contractors for bid, usually in that kind of November, December timeframe. And then, like I said, we'll be up and running with construction in January, February to start building all of the houses. So that's kind of our process. We take some of the summer while we're installing. We're already on the creative end, starting all of the new work for next year.
Oh, I love that because that plays into a question that we just got from the audience, which is kind of partially what you've already started to talk about here is how far in advance do you start planning for themes or different IP or any sort of, like, hey, we're going to do a Stranger Things house. We know that 2 years in advance, or we know that X amount in advance. How far in advance do you guys get a plan, or get a chance to plan for something of any IP that you get?
It is a mixture because sometimes there's IP relationships that we've had for years, and we'll work with them on catalog. Example would be Netflix. Netflix is a great partner with us, and they've done a lot of great work with either bringing us brands or stories that we're interested in and bringing to life, like Stranger Things. At the same time, there's other brands out there that we'll reach out to and say, hey, have you have any interest to create, a live attraction? And then there's also the flip side of that. There's IP and attractions that really find interest in Universal and want to come to us and have reached out to us and said, hey, we'd love to see how we could partner and create, an interesting walkthrough. So those come at different times of the year, and sometimes they'll come. Like, here's an example. We might have a brand come to us 2 years prior to find the right mix and get them really in line with our show, but at the same time with all of the process it takes to get, IPs on board with our process, our show. Of course, there's the whole legal side to this too that takes its own time. But yeah, like I said, we've done that sometimes. We've had brands who we've lived with for almost sometimes 3 years before they actually make it to the event and we're able to get it in front of the guests. Sometimes ones turn around in very short time. Suddenly pops up something, we're like, hey, this is something that really is, sparking a fire. We really want to get some activity behind this, and we can turn sometimes these around within that given year, within a few months. Crazy, we've done it. It happens. But yeah, so those are the things that really, every year is becomes a quite a big conversation, and a lot of it is driven by two kind of aspects. One, we're really focused on what really the haunt industry community audience loves. What can we grab that people really want to see? At the same time, we're also looking for stuff that we know works well with our style of experience and storytelling, stuff that has grand, like we talked about, big environments, great characters that people really want to get up close and personal. Some people do, some people don't. But yeah, and so those types of things. So sometimes, we'll work with brands that, have exciting experiences, but we don't feel maybe have enough to create a whole walkthrough. And sometimes we'll look at different ways to use them in the event. We've done like scare zones and bring characters to life. Sometimes we've done show elements that bring characters to life. So yeah, the IP story really is a lot of different ways we try to solve it, but at the same time, it is always ever changing and looks to be, what's next year. We find out sometimes 2 years, and sometimes we find out 2 months.
That's how you guys make magic happen. Like you hope you have more time, but if you don't, you still make it happen. And that's what's awesome. Now, the big question, a lot of haunts that are watching across the country, obviously work in different scales than Universal does.
Yeah.
When it comes to producing Halloween Horror Nights, we know that you have an entirely insanely devoted and talented cast and crew. We know a lot of them. There's some of them are our friends. How many of the masks and the props and how much of all of the stuff that we see, whether it's the costumes or, the animatronics, how much would you say, and you could guess, do you build in-house versus, purchasing or procuring from different suppliers?
I would say across the whole spectrum. So between costumes, masks, all of our technical team are in-house. All of our costume team is in-house. Our fabricators from costume to prosthetics and makeup are all in-house. So all of that, the only thing that we shop out, frankly, is our scenic construction or fabrication.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So everything you see from our characters, from masks, wigs to costumes, is 100% done in-house. We have a costume facility, has close to 50 to 60 costume fabricators that are working on Halloween every year because we change that. For our makeup and mask, we start with a small team of 10 makeup artists with an on-site facility that we're able to do all of our fabrication, molding, sculpting, and then we expand that with a freelance team that starts to come in as we start building all of the masks and painting all the masks. We could get up to as many as 90 makeup artists for this event, because again, every night we have to costume and makeup 1,200 performers, and of course it's a machine because every night cast comes in, we have a certain limited time for them to get in costume, in
Sure.
makeup, on set. And then we do that in a very strategic way. So a lot of it is staggered for our guests who come early, because we actually have a way for guests to come early and experience Halloween before it officially opens. But that's how we also open the event. It gives us the ability to open things in stages. So we
Okay.
work with smaller groups of costume and makeup teams, as opposed to trying to do everybody all at once. that,
No, that
yeah,
exactly. You're costuming an entire city.
fell down. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, it's the beauty and the excitement about how we're able to basically hold that content of that product so well, because it's through all of our team's hands and stuff. And what we realize is, because we change it every year, having it in house gives us the ability, and it's more about the speed that has been the value, is because we can start at a certain time and do something quicker, because it's all here right in front of us within our shops or within our buildings, than it is to sometimes go out to vendors and have to work with that little bit of delay time of
Sure.
just getting back and forth between vendor communications, or just location. Sometimes vendors don't live in the same area or city, so having it all in house has really been a big value for us. And it's, again, built off of how much we can turn over in the way of content in just the 12 months of a given year.
Love that. Now we know that Orlando is the headquarters. How does everything that you guys decide there in Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, how does that impact the other parks?
It's interesting, because as much as all the parks live underneath the brand that's called Halloween Horror Nights, and
Sure.
have, frankly, all the same elements, uh, how they mix or make the stew, if you want to call it, is just a little different. And it's really great, because it personalizes it to their audience. They've known now, because each of the parks have been doing this for some years now, have really started to come to learn what their audience likes, what also makes sense in messaging and marketing in their areas. So as much as we all really play with a lot of the same pieces, both the parks and between us and Hollywood do things a little differently. And a
Okay.
lot of it's driven by architecture. Our spaces are different than LA's spaces, but we're also talking to the same audiences. And sometimes we've heard from some of our guests that they actually like the difference in brand, because they can go, if they're able to, travel to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood and see a show out there, come here and see that same story, but it's told differently, and sometimes with different characters. So yeah, so it really is kind of a mix. I think the things that I really love that to point out is, like, our Japan park and our Singapore park. They really drilled down into driving a lot of their stories around legend and folklore, and a lot of those traditions of superstitions that the Asian community have. And there's some wild ones. And those parks really kind of become those entities that bring those characters to life, and they've been great, because the audience loves it, because it's very, 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 very personal to them.
That's awesome. It gives you additional motivation to go around and see the other shows, because there's not copies, they're not replicate, it's a totally different experience. Even if it might be the same theme or IP, it's
Yeah.
going to be a brand new experience.
Yes, right.
That's Now, obviously, I love talking with you because we get a chance to see your passion, and you've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
Can we ask, because everybody watching had a start in the industry, and we all come from something small, and hopefully can get that dream job like you have. Where did you start in the haunted house industry, and maybe give some inspiration for some listening that want to further their career in this industry?
Yeah. Well, again, it's similar to just about probably everyone you talk to. All of us started with the love of celebrating the season. At
Yeah.
Halloween,
Yeah.
growing up, was my favorite time of year, and I would decorate the house and get all dressed up, and it was always the crazy house on the block, and it was fun. At that point, it was more of a fun hobby. As
Right.
I continued with my career, and I actually studied architecture, and actually got into film and TV. But while I was doing both of those two things, I was still doing Halloween.
Okay.
Created haunted houses for the community. Actually built some professional ones in the city of Gainesville when I was at the University of Florida. And so again, always doing it at that time. That was back in the 1980s. Okay, I'm a little old. But yeah, but at those times, again, Halloween really wasn't the industry that it has become. And that was really, phenomenal to watch this industry become an industry that is a business.
Yeah.
Before it was mostly charity based, and it was mostly, built around, carnivals and or the fall festivals and type of stuff, a fun activity, not so
Right.
much a business. So it was interesting because I was in, in Orlando working film and TV, and at that time, that's when I reached out to Universal, and they reached out to me because they knew my Halloween background, and I'd been doing it already for like 10 years, 15 years. And so when I came over, I got a chance to work with the event, and at that time, we weren't the animal and the machine we are today. We really had one designer, that was me. I was the only one working on Halloween, and we had an art department of three of us. And we've grown now over time because mostly of Halloween and the business and how much people really enjoy the celebration of this season, and to watch not only Universal grow but other haunts, TransWorld. Like I said, I've known Jen and the team for years when it was in Chicago,
Yeah.
when we had a booth, and then it was upstairs, and then it moved. So all of those fun things, has been great. And I've enjoyed the whole ride, and enjoyed the fun of just seeing how much people. It's a passion, but now it's a business, and how much really it's, like I said, it's a year-round thing. And I'm going to hint and give you a little bit of fun. So one project I am working on is a new thing that Universal is branching out. It's creating a new experience for Las Vegas. It's called Universal's Horror Unleashed. It's going to be a permanent, year-round haunted attraction out in the city of Vegas. We're actually going to be part of a new district. If you're familiar with Vegas, any of your viewers, there's an area called Area 15.
Yes.
They've done some amazing entertainment and immersive type of experiences. We partnered with their developing group to be their anchor property for a new district that they're creating. We're actually in construction now, so the building is somewhat up, and walls are going in this week. And, I'm actually going to be out there to look at some stuff. But yeah, our goal is to be open sometime in the next summer window, 2025. With an all new permanent experience. And if you pay attention to any online stuff, you might hear more about it in the next few days. But yeah, we're excited about it because, like we've been talking about, that growth of horror, that passion to want to live in the world of horror year round, not just in the month of October, has grown to this part that we find that we want to provide a space and a place for people to do that. So we're excited.
Just giving people another reason to go to Vegas. This is awesome. I know that we talked about it here on the show when you first brought out that press release, and just seeing it come to life. Maybe we can talk to you a little bit closer to opening day and get a few sneak peeks possibly.
Oh yeah, definitely always fun to talk.
Now, all of us get to go to TransWorld, and you had mentioned you've been with the show since it's since being in Chicago, which we love, and thank you for that. Why do you and your team come to TransWorld every year?
I think it's a two major pieces. The first major piece definitely is the product. To be able to have that many vendors and all of the different design companies and other resources that they provide now, is keeps growing and growing, growing bigger, and we're going to bust out of the America Center very soon. But that's phenomenal. Be able to have that in one place, one stop, shopping is great, especially for this industry, which scales, down to the small home haunt to our crazy show. To be able to do that in one place and get all your stuff has been great. So it helps us a lot too to do what we need to do. But I think the second, just as valuable, is the people and the network.
Oh yeah,
Because that's
absolutely.
the thing that also has been wonderful about this industry and this community, which I'd love and love being a part of, and is seeing everybody, talking to them, understanding, where their show was, where they're going, what interesting trends are out there, from different areas of the country. And the thing that I've been really amazed with, and at the same time pleased, was that every year when we get a chance to speak at TransWorld, my number one question I love to ask is, where do we have people from? And it's amazing to get from the northern Canada area, from Asia to I think we had a lot of people from Europe in this last year too. So again, Halloween is growing outside of the states to places around the world, and it's a big business there too. So I think that's what I love, those two aspects. Not only you can find everything you would ever want, but at the same time you can see and talk to everybody you really should at this space.
It's such a great answer, and agreed. We love its opportunity to see just the best and brightest offerings that our industry has, surrounding with our amazing family and friends and everybody that we've grown in the industry, to just love this industry and nurture it and continue growing and progressing it. So, TJ, we are beyond honored to have you, and I know your time is very limited. Would you mind? We have a little tradition here. We'd like to ask a little kind of behind the scenes personal question, just to get inside your mind just a little bit. I know you mentioned John Carpenter's The Thing. Do you have another favorite Halloween or horror movie that you kind of love, that you love?
Hold on.
Okay.
Another John Carpenter film.
You can't go without Michael.
That's right. Yes. Michael Myers. Yeah, Halloween. It's on a bookshelf here above my desk. So, I have a lot of stuff around here that's not Michael in it. But I thought, again, at that time in the industry, in the film, if you were lucky enough to see it in the theater, it changed the world of horror. And so, and I loved it. I thought, there are some milestone elements, I think, along the horror timeline. And I think that one definitely changed the way people experienced it. And so it's a huge favorite of mine. Like I said, and for us to be able to play with that property has also been one of those things you kind of pinch yourself going, wow, I remember seeing this in the theater and imagining it, but never thought we would be able to bring it to life and scare the audience with the shape. So
I could not agree more. I could not agree more. And I know we don't get a chance to hand out candy. Most of us watching aren't going to be home on Thursday to do that. Do you have a favorite trick or treat candy that you like?
I am a mixture of chocolate and caramel.
Okay. All right.
So I'm a Twix bar person. So I'm all about, give me the 2 Twix bars and I'm good. I'll just a little wafer, a little chocolate, caramel, I'm good. So yes, those are mine. They're usually at my house if I'm ever at home on Halloween.
Exactly. Well, folks, you know that website, universalorlando.com/HHN. Like you haven't been there before. Robert's going to put it in the link. Go check them out if you haven't. There's still a few days to go see them or start preparing for your 2025 pilgrimage to Orlando. Yeah. TJ, is there anything else you want to say to our viewers that really have tuned in just to see you and our Halloween special?
It's, back to that, like I said, which we've talked a little bit about. Like I said, this and this, community, these wonderful shows that Chris and the team puts on, I think it's invaluable. I think us talking about what we love and what everybody's doing just makes it, why we love what we do. It's the passion. It's, it's the love of it. It's that thing that we all wake up every day going, what are we going to do different? I think this is amazing. And, and then I love being a part of, what we can do and grow. And so I actually, as before we got on and we were talking a little bit with Chris, another thing that I'm excited about down here, which we're not involved in heavily because I'm part of live shows and experiences, but our theme park side is creating this great place that's called Dark Universe. That's going to be down here for the summer for Epic Universe. And I think that's going to be another type of unique space that our guests will love to be a part of. I think, horror is a blast. A lot of people who not in the horror industry will always ask me, and with a question mark, they're like, You do this for a living? I'm like, yes, I do.
I'm proud of it.
I know. I mean, people ask me, you have children? I'm like, yes, I do, and they're quite normal. But no, it is, I think, a passion. And the wonderful thing that I've seen, I might not know somebody, never met them before. We start talking horror, and if you're as passionate about it as all of us are, you find like there's this kinship. And so that's why I think come be a part of TransWorld, because you'll have a blast, but at the same time, we'll get a chance to trade stories and have a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you out there. And like I said, I'm going to hang on if I want to hear more stories.
Heck yes. And we're grateful for you. Thank you so much. I know a bunch of us will still see you in Orlando. At the very, very worst, we'll see you in St. Louis at the end of February. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Oh, no problem. Happy to be here.
Thanks, CJ. Have a great Halloween.
Thanks.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Thanks. A huge thanks, obviously, on behalf of everybody from TransWorld to TJ and to the Universal team for spending some time with us, giving us a glimpse into one of the largest Halloween attractions ever imagined. Beyond excited for that. Well, we're glad you're here. We didn't have our normal show start because we wanted to jump in. It's our Halloween episode. We wanted to make sure we got all the good content for you. So we hope that your Halloween season has been going well. Obviously, 2 days till the big day. So I know everybody's counting down, and you know how it works. If you are watching us here and want to let us know that you are here, just sign off in the chat there and say a little hi. Of course, we got our good friends Dave and Aubrey Appel from Horror Props. We're glad you guys are here. Sean Fenner, always glad you're here. Yeah, Aaron Smith, guys, it's just awesome. Thank you so much. The comments are coming in. Chris Harder, love you guys. Thank you so much. Paul, couldn't do a show without you there. Gretchen, what's up, guys? We've got some birthday shout outs to do in our new segment here. Today, we are celebrating Garrett Coons. Who can produce a show without him? Our technical wizard there, Sabrina Rash, and David Major, good friends of ours. Josh Wood, Bryce Alexander, and Tom Strong are tomorrow. Dave Carey, Max Bryant are Thursday, and Courtney McIntyre on Friday. That's a heck of a lineup. So happy birthday to all of our friends there. We do have some breaking news, of course, that the registrations for TransWorld 2025 are now open. Robert's going to post that link into the chat. It's haashow.com. You can start registering, and more importantly, get your hotels. If there is a specific hotel that you want to stay at, maybe you want to upgrade, maybe you waited to the last second, do that now before those blocks sell out and the room is gone. So we want to make sure you get in where you want to get in. It's our Halloween episode, so we have an opportunity. Obviously, every week we've been going to see a different attraction all around the area here. And in our beautiful Where in the World is Chris segment, we stopped by quite possibly the most famous home haunters in the country. Dave and Aubrey Appel from Horror Props. Well, let's check out and see how they're doing. TransWorld, we are here on location in our new segment that we like to, Jen likes to call Where in the World is Chris. We're in Plainfield, Illinois, at quite possibly the most famous home haunters in the entire world, thanks to Max. Of course, we are here at Horror Props with Dave and Aubrey and their entire family. What's up, guys?
What's up, Chris? How you doing? Welcome, guys.
Wait, we can't do this the right way. If we're going to do this the right way, I got to join the club.
The horns!
There we go. There we go.
He's in. He's in.
Now we're doing this. Oh boy. We have company.
She heard horns and she had to come out.
Look at, are you seeing this? This is our Halloween episode, and of course we are here with these guys who really have taken the world by storm and inspired so many home haunters around the country, in Chicago and throughout the Midwest. How do you guys do it?
We just keep posting our content. We try to show what we make for our home hunt on all the social media, and then we put it out there for people to see. I got the fishing line here. We got it.
We're breaking it.
Yeah, we try to make as much of our display as we can, and then we want to share that with everybody and show people how we do it. The no gatekeeping policy, we try to stay within those boundaries.
I love it. You guys are an open book because you're a tutorial, like how much blood to shoot on art or how to deal with your HOAs. You know, like all of the challenges that real home launchers have to deal with. And I think you guys give such a great guidance and advice to anybody. What if somebody's watching and saying, hey, listen, I just go to insert my home improvement store and I buy a few decorations, but I want to do what's the next step?
Look at things a different way.
Okay.
You look at a drain tube for a refrigerator, that could be somebody's vein, that could be a tendon. You gotta kind of start thinking outside the box. Blue paper towels and Mod Podge can do wonders.
And our good friend Alan Hops,
Pool noodles. Yeah, especially pool noodles, things like that. Things that can just be structured and, you know, looked at a different way. Worms, spider legs, vines. That's the way to do it.
What inspires you to continue and celebrating Halloween for all?
The laughter and screams in the background. Both of those are it's just enjoyment. It's amazing.
Guys, this is our Halloween episode, and we could not do it without these guys. We're so glad you guys are here. These awesome horns. Where can we get these? There's like, you can do anything you want. If you noticed, these two painted some beautiful TransWorld Live.
The TransWorld Live horns with some lightning bolts.
Exactly. But if people want their own custom horns, where can they go?
So you can visit horrorprops.shop and get a pair for $20 or less.
That's awesome. Stocking stuffers today.
That's it.
Get ready. Celebrate our favorite Halloween. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Happy Halloween. We'll be right back.
Happy Halloween.
Love David and Aubrey. Thank you so much for joining us with that. I'm just laughing because of the sound. We don't get a chance to hear how loud that sound is. That's awesome. And I know they're online with us live right now, so we're grateful that you're here. Of course, we are on the road to Legendary Haunt Tour, November 8th and 9th. Folks, when we talk about that time is running out, certainly you know that Halloween is Thursday. And I know we're all looking forward to Halloween, but Halloween's also very important for the Legendary Haunt Tour. That's because all of the pricing goes up November 1st. It all goes up. So your early bird discount expires on Halloween. If you are thinking about going, you're going to see 4 of the most world-class epic haunted houses ever to exist. We've got Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati, the USS Nightmare in Newport, Kentucky, Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory in Akron, and the Factory of Terror in Canton, Ohio. And of course, a nice little rest stop and side trip to the Lind Family Farm. That's right, folks. You know him. You love him. Tater, this is his home. This is where he is at. Go check him out. And he actually has some breaking news for us to announce tonight. He was having people vote on a second donut flavor, and it looks like it's been decided. So we're still going to have that apple cider donuts with cinnamon and sugar. And now, just for the Legendary Haunt Tour, we're going to get a special edition. An apple cider donut with salted caramel icing. I'm already drooling. Let's go. Let's get there. LegendaryHauntTour.com. Go check out the itinerary. Go check out the plan. We want to make sure that you understand it is a one-way trip. So you're going to fly into Cincinnati and you're going to fly home from either Canton or from Cleveland or another area airport. But it is a one-way trip from the south all the way up north. And we're going to be able to traverse all of this beautiful state and see 4 of the most legendary haunted attractions to ever exist. So please check them out. LegendaryHauntTour.com. Time is running out, folks. All right. Now, I know we were going to have Jen and Rich on to talk about some amazing yard displays, including one that they did right in their very own home, but the Chicago weather is not cooperating as much, so we might see them next week. But we're really excited about our next guest. It's Halloween, and we love celebrating all things Halloween, from one of the most commercially successful haunted attractions to ever exist to all of our amazing home haunters. Everybody is showcasing that passion. And you guys know this story of the Beazley family and Canon all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada. And we've been following them ever since we got wind of their story. Rich and Jen and everybody has been working to make sure dreams can come true. And in March of this year, we had a chance to welcome the Beazley family, and they actually opened up our 15th year in St. Louis by opening and cutting the ribbon and getting us inside. Well, now it's time to follow up and see how Canon and company are doing up in Nova Scotia. TransWorld Live, help me in welcoming back the Beazley family and Canon from the House of Doom.
Yes. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh.
Haunted House is just last Saturday, and we have 2 more dates coming up tomorrow and on Halloween, of course.
Okay, well, we have so much to talk about. Can we show our viewers real quick just a trailer that you put together for your attraction, just to show people kind of what your show looks like this year?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Robert with the magic button.
It's well known that those who enter my lair never leave.
So awesome. So awesome. It's just great to showcase that. I like the goosebumps, when I see that trailer. That's awesome. So your first show was this Saturday, and this is the first time that you've opened to the public since leaving TransWorld and all of those amazing toys. Tell us how it's been since you got home in early April.
Well, since I went to TransWorld, I learned like so much, and I was very inspired. And basically immediately after we got back from TransWorld, I started brainstorming ideas and creating more things. We ordered some prop controllers, and I made and programmed a pneumatic animatronic. And so, yeah, we have my very own pneumatic animatronic inside the House of Doom this year. And another one that we had from last year, but this year it's now automated. And I was so inspired by like all of the haunted houses we went to there, like the Darkness and the Lent Brewery. And we learned a lot that we took back with us to make our haunted house even better.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's awesome just to see the trailer. And I know Robert's got a few pictures here. Can we show them actually, if that works with you guys, and you could tell us what we're looking at here?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. He's going to put these up here. So, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. He's going to make it bigger. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. Great job on the lighting, but go ahead. Please tell us.
So this one is right there in the left corner. We got Scarecrow Wrath. That's one that I got from Distortions Unlimited this year. We got to meet Ed and Marsha. They were super, super nice. And we also got that pumpkin staff from Toxic Effects. They were so generous by giving that to us. And we decided to put the two together to create an ultimate Halloween prop. And he looked really amazing in this little display we put next to him.
This looks awesome. Rich is in the chat saying hey to you guys as well, but keep going.
Hey.
Yeah,
Look at that.
we were really. I mean, we came back with just a treasure trove of stuff from all the generous people that gave Canon, made his wish come true, not just by giving him things, but spending time with him and talking to him and really trying to get to know him and his story. And it was just such a life-changing experience, not just for him, but for all of us. We were just so blessed that we got to go there and meet everybody, and it didn't hurt that we came back with so much stuff that we could incorporate into the haunt this year. So it really did make a huge difference. And one of the things Canon probably talked about here is like just we have a certain amount of space in our house, but with all the new stuff, we just don't have anywhere to put it.
It spills onto the street.
Yeah, so
we use the neighbor's yard, and now like it's a full-on event. We have like around 500 people through on Saturday, so it was.
Gosh. Oh my gosh! Now,
took over a few neighbors' yards.
Yeah, we're slowly taking over the neighborhood.
You have to dispel a rumor that we heard that said that you actually forced your neighbors to move out of country just for Halloween, so you could take over the property.
No comment.
I love it. So you come back, so you have built your own animatronic now in the house based on the knowledge and the equipment that you've picked up. What other new features did you incorporate now, changing your show from before TransWorld to now after TransWorld?
Well, for one, we had the opportunity to have lots of people outside. We had volunteers who went outside. So since there's so many people waiting to get into the haunted house, it was a great idea to have some actors to keep them entertained. So we got lots of masks at the show, from immortal masks, CFX. Here's one right here. We'll show you one of the immortal masks one first.
I get to wear it.
You wear this
I'm
one.
jealous, Dan. Oh, yeah. There we go. There's a great shot.
George from Immortal Mask.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, this was terrifying, people. It was great.
And over on this side, we got this one, which was sculpted at the show
by Jordu.
By Jordu Shell, yes, at the booth.
That's a one of a kind.
So if you're at the show, you probably, if you saw this guy getting sculpted, this is what he looks like now.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Looks gorgeous.
Super realistic.
Yeah, it was really cool to see the process of Jordu sculpting that over the 4 days of the convention, and then it becoming like a viable product later on.
So gorgeous.
And in different variations as well, like different shades of rabbit becoming available from the company. So yeah, and actually with him, we actually used this prop here in a unique way. We kind of had him on a slab.
Okay.
And, so he was kind of poorly lit, but just well enough to make him look very realistic, and it was just great. It was great playing around with.
Made it look like a dead body in the garage.
Yeah,
it was like really creepy. Yeah. And if anyone touched him, they would feel like real skin. So yeah.
That's the beauty and magic. Oh my gosh. And to see it unfold with your own eyes right there on the floor, and now have it be a part of your attraction.
Yeah.
So magical. Oh my gosh. What else have you guys kind of changed or developed now, because you've learned so much, seen much more? How does the show look differently to you guys from an operational standpoint?
Well, I think one of the things is that I didn't know much about prop controllers before TransWorld, but I did go over to the people at Fright Props. They're actually operate out of Canada. They're called Fright Ideas in Canada.
Yeah. No idea.
Yeah, and so not only did they bring one of Canon's pneumatic props, which we just manipulated manually and had a sound has that sound card on an iPhone that we hit and played through a speaker, and we're pressing the pneumatic buttons and manually operating it. We're able to automate that. And so it's just a push button, and then it does the whole animation. And then we can even do that with the IR sensors. So it's fully automatic. So we have a night yesterday. Was it yesterday or
Sunday?
They all come. They merge together.
We had a no scare event.
Okay.
So we had like a daylight one for the young ones. And so we're able to keep the lights on and dumb it down a bit in terms of the fright level to let younger kids go through and a lot of this. But we didn't staff the place. So normally we've got 15 to 20 people on staff in our house scaring people, and we were able to just with the help of those fright props just automate that process so they could still go off, but we didn't have to have people there, manipulating.
We're learning a lot about these, and I'll be able to make even more awesome stuff like that in the future now that I know how to program them and all that.
They're really, really cool. We really geeking out on it. So it's good.
So what's coming on Thursday?
Yeah. Look at that. So Carrie Martin just wrote in the chat, can't wait to go through on Thursday.
Yeah.
So you guys are open tomorrow and Thursday. So the 30th, October 30th, and then the 31st, right?
So tomorrow we're actually doing something pretty unique. So since there's like lots of teams, like hockey teams and soccer teams and whatever teams, even work teams or business teams want to go through the haunted house, we kind of turned it into sort of a team building event for them to have. So they can come, they can book a time, do a certain amount of money for a donation to the IWK. My hockey team actually works the night of tomorrow. So, and it'll be 15 different teams coming through tomorrow night.
Yeah, Shelly is our booker, and she's like, we'll do up to 12.
Now we got 15.
Now
so
we got 15 coming. But
my hockey team might have to work overtime.
Yeah. What we do with that night, and again, this was an idea that we sort of came up with last year, is it's a great team building event for his hockey team.
Sure.
They are the actors, they are the prop people, and the scare crew, and the behind the scenes folks, and so they get a team building event. But also all these teams that are coming have just a wicked time going through a haunted house, and a lot of them will go for pizza afterwards and make a night of it, and so it's a special event for them. And so basically what we do is Canon's hockey team gets a certain amount of money for their fundraising, and then the remainder goes to our local children's hospital, which is called the IWK, which is where all the other money goes that we raise.
So we've made $7,500 so far this year for them, just so far since the beginning of October when people were able to donate. That's not counting what we have out in the bin out front as well. So
right, yeah.
That's fantastic. I know you've given some ridiculously large amounts to IWK since your entire journey with them, and that's amazing that we're able to continue giving back to them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So a lot of folks want to know. So now you are running an operation, you're designing an operation. When you guys open to the public on Thursday, will you be in costume? Will you be playing and haunting, or will you be running things?
I'm usually wherever they need to be. Sometimes, I'm mostly do media and stuff like that. So
sure.
Do the post.
So you're doing the business.
I do the live streams on YouTube and lots of stuff like that. And I also just help where help is needed. So I'm sort of a floater. That's what you would call it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because every night is a little bit different. Our big opener, which we had on the weekend, that's the biggest of the events. That's where we set the whole street down. We've got propane fire pits out there, scare actors, and we learned a few years ago that a key learning for us, because what we used to do is just sort of open the doors and then a lineup would form and it would go all the way down the street. and people are excited, but they're waiting sometimes 2 hours or more to get in. So then we changed to a ticketing system where we just handed out tickets, and then people are free to roam around, snap photos, things like that, and we just call them up by number. So it's a lot more. You don't have to stand in the line all night. You can mingle and run around. We set up ping pong tables on the street, air hockey, basketball. And it's just more of a street party.
It's a street Halloween street festival at this point.
How awesome! We need to go there. I know our mutual friend Brick Thunder actually was able to make the transition, and this is his first year being a commercial haunted attraction. He's got a great building. I just visited him a couple of weeks ago. He's doing great. But Tommy Thunder wrote in the chat, I can't wait to see Canon's commercial haunt and what it looks like in 5 years.
We've been following the McCabe's.
Yes.
and we're like, I don't think we're there yet.
It's really insane what they're doing. It's amazing though. I've been watching their little documentaries. They've been really
so good,
really funny and really cool.
It's very entertaining, but it kind of covers a lot of those trials and tribulations of setting up a haunted house for the first time with all of the fun hurdles that come along with that, the business side of it.
Yeah, there's like a million things like code.
Exactly.
Things like that we're cognizant of.
Sure.
We're doing our bill, but we don't really have anybody policing us or anything like that. So,
right.
But you are inviting people into your home, right? So you have to be careful and everything else. But it's it's a whole other world when you make that transition, and it seems like they're doing great. And we would love to go visit, and maybe someday we'll get the chance to do that. So they're in a bedroom for us there, McCabe's.
we should make that happen. I think that would be awesome.
We're not picky. We'll just pitch a tent in the backyard.
Exactly.
I think we can sleep in the warehouse.
I think Dave and Aubrey Appel from Horror Props will be joining us too. Absolutely. Now, okay, so you've seen TransWorld. Now you've lived that dream. You've gone home with all of this stuff. Am I correct in assuming we're going to see you at TransWorld 2025?
Well, we're definitely hoping that we'll be able to get there. I definitely want to go, but of course, we got some stuff to work out first.
Sure.
But we're definitely hoping
that's going to
yeah.
Okay, assuming that you
works.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Assuming that you guys do attend, have you already started a shopping list? Are you kind of thinking like, okay, here's what I want to accomplish for my 25 show?
Well, what I would say is that I definitely want to see everyone again. I want to meet back up and see Ed and Marcia and all of Brick Thunder and all the other haunters. And I think it'd be really cool to see you guys all in person again. And I also see a bunch of things and get ideas in my head again. I just love looking around the show floor. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's awe-inspiring. It's amazing. Now, of course,
as much as it is like seeing all the physical things there too, it's with the people, and we hear that over and over again with the community. And I think seeing all that stuff is great, but it's connecting with the people again that most excites us more than anything else.
Just like TJ said, and all of us agree, it's the people. We have such an awesome family in our haunt family here. You're in a cool position this year, Beazley, because things have changed. Just like Brick Thunder and just like Horror Props, you guys are talking to experts and you guys are talking to lifelong veterans of the industry. But now you are inspiring a whole new generation of people that are watching your videos and thinking, hey, mom, dad, can I set up a home haunt or a yard display, and are starting down the road that you did? What advice now would you give? Because there's younger kids than you that are now starting on that journey. What would you say to them?
I would say just start off small, and if it grows, it grows, and it can definitely grow into something amazing if you work for it, for sure.
Love that. Love that.
Keep on your parents.
Parents are so important, guys. Love your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big-
you do need some buy-in from the parents. That's
Oh,
for sure.
100%.
So it's if you had to ask me even 5 years ago, would this be something that we would do on the scale that we're doing it now? I would have thought you're crazy.
We conquer the ideas, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, okay, more for mom and dad now. For any moms and dads that are listening, saying, okay, my son, daughter, whatever, wants to start doing this. What was that big challenge when you went from like 5 props to 50 props and figuring out where to store them? And what would you say to the parents that are watching this on how to support their young one on their haunted journey?
Flexible job.
I have somewhere to store it. We've been, a lot of things have just worked out in the way they have. Like we have a place to store it.
Sure.
Like lots of stuff like that. We have a garage and the perfect layout of a house that a haunted house could go through, and not everyone might have that. So
yeah.
Very fortunate.
I think, I mean, having some flexibility with being able to, go with the flow with ideas. Also, you have to clear your September and October. But
we understand that.
If you're you have to embrace it and enjoy it.
And try to be very tight with your neighbors if that's possible. And it's we're really, really fortunate. We moved into the most amazing neighborhood, and we have the most supportive neighbors that we would not be able to do this without them. Like there are key neighbors that are just so supportive. Everybody pitches in. We've got neighbors cooking hot dogs and giving out hot chocolate, and now more in the way of decorating their yards as well, and of course just allowing us to close the entire street down. We have to get I don't know how many signatures for that.
Signatures for everyone on the street.
40, 50 houses have to sign off on it, and so it's not everybody is as fortunate as we are to have that situation. So it's we're cognizant of that as well, and how lucky we are.
Absolutely. Your good friend, and I can say that now, your good friend George from Immortal is online.
Hey.
We love George.
Oh, I wore that mask a lot this week.
So what's your review since George is watching? Comfortable?
It's a showstopper.
It's a showstopper.
I take it to bed with me every night. I don't even let Canon have it anymore. No, so just a funny story. So Canon's been struggling a little bit with letting go. We're balancing between preserving these in immaculate condition. Okay. And so there's this balance between wearing them and preserving them. Okay. And we've had to strike a balance there. I'm the only person that's allowed to wear this. That's me. But there's some other masks that he's very protective of, and other props and stuff that he's protective of. So this is one of the ones he's.
I was the doll, and it was super fun to be on the street as the doll. So fun.
Everyone is
so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do you have now? Are you going to continue that trend and have those reoccurring characters? Like, is this going to be a thing where you guys, portray these specific characters?
I think people are going to look for them.
Yes. Once someone sees them, you can't just not bring them out again, because they'll be like, "Well, where is it? I swear it was your guy." Yeah. So
that's right.
I think some people would come back year after year to see some of these. So.
And again, that was a big difference with our street event this year, is that we did have not just ourselves. Like I went out for a bit with the Immortal mask, and Shelley did as well. But we had some other masks and other props that we were employing on the street, which was a little bit different, as well as some people we didn't even know that were just showing up in costume as well, which we had more of this year than any other year as well.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm assuming you guys have already seen growth. Like you've obviously put more people. You said about 500 people through your hunt.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
crazy awesome.
Yeah, and then we just probably had 300, between 250 and 300 for the daylight event, and that one was like we had no idea what to expect. Lots of interest on Facebook, but I said, Shelly, I said, I think it's just going to be a trickle. You know, it was just a couple hours that we were open, and thankfully everybody didn't show up at once because like we had so many people go through. They all came at the start of it, we would have been in trouble. But over the course of 2 hours, it was just the right.
And seeing the little kids come through, it reminded me of when Canon was little.
Yeah.
And, how much he would have loved to go through a hunt like that. So it was really neat to see these kids who, and we were showing them the things that Canon made and telling them they could go check it out. And so it was like inspiring this whole next younger group of. Yeah, so it was really neat to have that.
It's interesting to see that transition between like when Canon first became excited about Halloween and stuff, and he goes on YouTube and he sees Miles like Brick Thunder and just as his YouTube career was just kind of starting off, and then he starts his own YouTube channel as well, and so he's becoming maybe a Brick Thunder to hit like
to some of the little ones,
right? Yeah. Like. So it's great to see that
like full circle
growth. It's contagious, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. And obviously the love is continuing to pour in. George just says, we love you guys, and sending a whole bunch of hearts. So that is
awesome.
Thanks, George.
Thanks so much.
Guys, I know that you have to get ready for your team event tomorrow. Is there anything you want to say to everybody watching?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you so much.
Like I said, we're really, really hoping we can make it happen, that we'll get to TransWorld in 2025. And we're just, again, so grateful that everybody showed the amount of generosity, love, interest in Canon and our whole family to make his dream come true, which became our dream, and we didn't even know it, really. So it was just great, and we just love all of you guys. Love all of you.
We love you guys, and can you help us? So we're talking about being full circle today. Obviously, now you are inspiring people. We want to help someone come to TransWorld. So we, on behalf of Jen, Rich, and everybody at TransWorld, we are going to give away 2 tickets, 2 premier access passes tonight to a viewer. And we're going to need your help, Canon. So you see that cool chat on the side of the screen there, the host chat?
Yeah.
If you would, type in there, what is your favorite trick-or-treat candy? Now, for all of those that are watching, we're going to guess. You're going to guess.
Right? Where are you going
to? You're going to guess Canon's favorite trick-or-treat candy. And to do that, you're going to type in TW and then the name of the candy. First person that we see is going to win a pair of tickets, courtesy of Jen and Rich and all of us at TransWorld, to come to TransWorld 2025. They are premier access passes, going to get you early in on the show, going to get you 4 days to all of the shows, Halloween, haunted attractions, Christmas show, interactive entertainment, dark zone, the whole kit and caboodle. Love that. And I think, let's see, we don't have the answer yet. That's okay.
This is a favorite child question.
Exactly. It's such a tough one. It's such a tough one.
Okay. Oh, good choice.
Is that how I spell it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll get it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got. All right. We do have the answers. Good call. All right. Now let's check our answer here. Let's awesome here. We've got good ones here. And I think Coach Corn, I think it's our winner here with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations, Coach.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Oh,
A lot of people
Oh,
saying
uh-oh.
that.
Well, you guys have a problem.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh,
They
oh,
were
no.
the first person
Oh,
to
they were
say
the
it.
that was the first
A lot
person.
of people said that. Oh, my God. Yes, it's popular.
Well,
You like your peanut
for
butter?
all of those that did not win, stay tuned. We are definitely going to be giving out more tickets, so you'll get more chances to win in future episodes. But for Coach, congratulations on behalf of all of us at TransWorld. Email me at kris@haashow.com, and we'll get you hooked up. And Rich just posted something in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys saw it. You guys are lifetime members. Make sure that you hit up Rich if you decide to.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks so
Yeah,
much, man.
So
Listen,
congrats.
that request from Make-A-Wish landed in Rich, Bianco's, and Jen's hands.
Yeah.
Because if it had been anybody else, who knows, right? But
Yeah.
man, oh, what a stroke of luck.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are fantastic.
Thanks. It's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
We're talking about full circle here. You guys impacted all of us. We were so excited when Rich told us all about your experience and how you were going to be joining us. It breathed new life and excitement just to get the show ready for you guys to see everything, for you to have that first glimpse when you open up the door. Together. So unbelievable. Thank you for being such a big part of it and helping inspire us.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
Thank you, guys.
thanks, guys, for being here. Happy Halloween to everybody that's watching. We will be back next Tuesday, November 5th. And we've got a very special, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're going to be dedicating that episode to our late friend, Karen Murphy. So please come and share some memories and be prepared for that. We hope that you support all your local haunted attractions and your local House of Doom. If you're in Nova Scotia, Canada, houseofdoom.ca. Go check them out. Happy Halloween from all of us at TransWorld. Stay safe, and we'll be back next